Okay. All right. We are live. I'm going to pull it up here on my phone just to make sure.
Hey, everyone.
Happy Thursday. Hope everybody is doing fabulous this week.
I
And
am so happy we're back here together live, Trish.
it's
We
kind of weird.
enjoyed our vacations and got a little bit of time off, each of us, but I'm so happy to be back here with you.
Yes, me too. It's been great. We've had some, awesome people fill in, which I know people have loved, but at the same time, it just felt weird. And but I loved having Jesse on, loved having Amber on, and really, it's just so good to know that we have such a great community with strong people who can fill in. But yeah, it felt really bizarre not having you next to me.
Funny, we've been doing this a long time now, since the fall of last year. So
I know we're approaching almost a year.
I know.
First training we did was in September, the beginning of September last year. So that is,
Crazy.
yes, love it. So, hey guys, if you are hopping on, drop us in where you're on. And oh, Luann says, finally, I've made it to a live. That's awesome. We're glad to have you here. Hey, Ed. Hey, Wilma. Hey, Ruth.
Hey, Kelsey, Karen, Gayla. Nice to see you here today.
And Rachel and Marlo. All right. Hey, guys. Well, we're excited to be back, and we are going to be talking about stuff that we kind of always talk about, but at the same time in a very different way today. A lot of times we're always teaching you, how to post, what some different things are. But today what we're going to do is teach you specifically how to really be able to get more engagement on your posts so that you feel like you're getting something for your time that you're spending doing posts. So we want to help you be more effective with what you're doing and really be able to start getting more people commenting, liking, sharing, and engaging on those posts that you have. So let's see, we got a few more people here. We got Linda, Sandy, and Karen, and Ruben, and Gayla. Thanks so much for hopping on, guys. Someone said, oh, Linda, we're happy to have you back, Truth Team. So, and here's the thing, vacation, you said vacations, or somebody said vacations are important, I thought I saw. And you know what? It is, guys. It's important to take time off. You work hard. It's really important to schedule some time for yourself. It's going to allow you to come back and work harder, stay focused, get refocused, and really just be able to, launch your business again.
You know what's so cool though, Trish, that I noticed about vacations now? Back when I was working in corporate all those years, as my vacation was coming to an end, I would get anxiety. It was like, oh no, I got to do that commute. I got to go back to work. I don't want vacation to end. When my vacation was coming to an end, I was like, wow, I can't wait to get back to work.
That's that's exactly how I was. Like I was grateful for the time, loved spending time with my family, but I was really anxious to get back because we have so many great things always going on. And so yeah, it was really nice to not have that dread of, oh my gosh, I'll have to do this. So in fact, we actually drove straight through our last night instead of staying because we were so anxious to just get home so we could get started the next day. So, all right. Well, thanks for hopping on, guys. And we're going to dive right into today's training. So let me go ahead and share my screen here with you. All right. And 1 second. Let me just bring it up over here. Oops, hold on. Oh, let me get rid of this. Let's make sure you guys are seeing the right screen. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So today what we are going to talk about is how to maximize engagement on your social media posts.
Trish, can you hit play on your thing? Because I'm just seeing a little piece of...
Oh, I can. Let me see here. Let's see. Go ahead and play. All right. How's that?
Go. That's much better.
Awesome. Well, great. Yeah, when I do it this way, I can't see comments on the other page, but that is totally fine. So I can see it on my phone. So perfect. All right, let me just go ahead and make sure this is switching. All right.
So in case we haven't met, if you're new to our group, we are Trisha Verzera and Ruth Sheridan. I'm Ruth, that's Trisha. And we have been in the network marketing industry for over 20 years, probably closer to 30 now. We build now entirely online. We used to do a lot of the old school methods. I had a ton of home parties. I used to bring people to hotel meetings every week. I know, Trish, you were a ball shark for a long time. But we just made a decision a number of years ago to build online. We learned some skills, and now we've built our entire team online, and we're here in this group to teach you how to do it too. We're both moms, and we both have lovely daughters. We're both six-figure income earners in the industry, and we are super passionate about helping people learn how to use the online space effectively and the right way.
Absolutely. As we're certainly sick of doing it the wrong way. So today, as we're talking about, getting more engagement on your posts, I want to say a little bit, why does this matter? And it's so important because I know many of you, well, first of all, let me ask you, have you guys ever made a post that you thought was so good and that people should be so interested in, but you get crickets? If that is you, drop us a crickets below. Because I know that was me, and it was always like, oh my gosh, how do I get the right post? Or somebody would make the post and they would get a bunch of hits, and you'd make the post and literally nobody except maybe your mom and a teammate, right? So it's really important to be able to put content out that you're going to be able to get people engaging with you. So when people engage with your post, it's going to tell the Facebook algorithm that people like your content. And if you're building on social media, you have to get those algorithms working in your favor. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to get the traction because you're never going to get the eyeballs on your content. If you get people engaging with your posts, they're more likely to see future posts or send you a Facebook message. And that's what's so great is the more people who see your content, and when they go ahead and comment, and maybe you comment back, Facebook is going to say, okay, they like their content. Let's get this content in front of them more often. And if it's also getting people to send you a Facebook message, that's an actual connection. And Facebook likes that too. It says, okay, these people, they're having conversations, they're connecting. We need to make sure they see more of each other's things. Does that make sense? Hopefully it's making sense so far. If it does, guys, drop me a 2 below. The other thing is when people engage, it shows that your content is actually resonating with your audience. And you've heard us talk about this a lot, where we, talk about who is your perfect prospect, who is that avatar, as we like to call it. And when you're getting people to engage, it's showing that you're speaking to your avatar. You're actually putting something out there that is resonating with them. And that is really important because, again, if you're not marketing to that specific person, you're marketing to everyone, and then you're not going to see the results you're looking for in your business. And if people aren't engaging on your posts or within Messenger, then you're not connecting. And this business is all about connecting. It's all about building relationships. But you have to have that initial connection in order to build that relationship. So, and then lastly, and this is really important, if you're not consistently connecting with people, then you're not selling, which means you're not building a business, you're not growing your influence, your business isn't growing. It means really you're stagnant. And if you're stagnant, it means you're really going backwards. So it's really important to make sure that you're getting that engagement, on all of your social media posts. Do you want to add anything to that, Ruth?
No, I think that's pretty straightforward. Like the importance of engagement, guys. Sometimes when we just do a simple post and we're trying to get engagement, we might feel like it's not a meaningful post, or, maybe you didn't put a ton of thought into it, but just simply getting that engagement is going to help you break through that algorithm. So it's super, super important to do.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there are 4 types of posts that you should be using on a regular basis on your social media. I'm going to go through them pretty quickly here, but we're going to spend a lot of time looking at one of them. So the first one is engagement posts, and we'll dive into this one in a bit, but it's really where we're trying to get people to engage with us. We're trying to get people to leave comments, to maybe to pop into Messenger with a comment. And it's that engagement that, again, like Trisha said, it is going to the Facebook algorithm is going to look at it and go, oh, these people like that post. They're engaging together. Maybe they're messaging together. They're a connection now. Let's keep showing them your stuff, right? And if you're not getting new people to engage with you, then your business will also kind of flatline, right? So we always want to be, if people are sending you friend requests and they look like the right kind of people, or if you're doing it on your business page, you always want to be analyzing, who is commenting? Is it the same people all the time? Are those people already on my team? Are those the only people commenting, or am I getting new eyes on this stuff? Is the Facebook reach putting it out there in front of new eyes? The second kind is called the invite post. And an invite post is typically an invitation to do something. Okay, so let's say you have a Facebook Live coming up. You could do a post to invite your followers on your page or your friends on your profile to come and watch that live. So any kind of event-based thing, or if you've got something you want people to see, you can invite. Okay, so that's an invitation post. The next kind of post that we have here is the freebie post. So the freebie post is basically a post where you're giving something away for free. So what might that look like? Well, maybe you've got, maybe your products are skincare products, and you've created a little PDF on 5 tips to have acne-free skin, or 5 tips to have smoother skin. You could offer that freebie in either a live video or in a post. Okay, so that's a freebie post, and people will comment to get the freebie, or if you're running a funnel, they'll click some links and so on. But freebie posts are great because again, you're getting people to interact with your post. You're creating closer relationships with people through them. And also Facebook's going to see that interaction as, the two of you having more of a relationship, and that person's going to see your post way more. The next one is FAQ posts, like frequently asked questions. So if you typically get a lot of questions about your products, or a lot of questions about your business, or really anything that you are typically working on, you can write a little FAQ post to just give people value, right? Give people value about what they're looking for an answer to. So if they're following you and you're known for having, beautiful skin, then give them an FAQ post. If they're following you because you're a proponent of the ketogenic diet, then give them a frequently asked question post about the ketogenic diet, right? So there's a lot of FAQ posts that you can put out there, and they're really just helpful, valuable content for your followers so that they continue to follow you.
Love it. Love it. Were you done, Ruth? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So like Ruth mentioned before, today we're really going to be focusing on just one of those, and that is the engagement post. Because getting your content out there again and getting as many eyes as possible is really, really important. So one, we're going to show a couple of, we're going to give some examples here in a minute. But when we talk about the other posts, each type of post really serves a different purpose. And the engagement posts are really meant to boost your engagement. It does exactly, what the name says. And again, getting more people on it. And once you do that, they're a great way for you to be able to get people into your current network to start interacting with you. So the more people who are looking at your content, the more people that you're able to put offers out to, the more people who you're able to solve some kind of problem for. But getting the more people engaging with you is really the key. And so what we like to do is, even in the posts that we give to our team, there are a lot of engagement posts in there in that first 30 days that we go through, because when the time comes that someone's ready to put an offer out, that means they're going to have maximized the number of people who are actually going to see that post. So doing an engagement post regularly is important, because again, you're increasing your network, you're increasing the number of eyes that are on your content. So then when you intentionally put another type of post out there that's asking for something, you're going to have more people looking at it, giving you a greater result of people who are going to want the information, or want, or who are going to comment on that. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. If that is making sense to you, drop me a 3 down there in the comments.
I just want to give a hello to Vanessa. Thank you for joining us, Vanessa. Vanessa just popped on.
Yeah. I see Brittany too popped on while we were talking. So welcome, ladies.
Okay, so what is the easiest, most simple, quickest way to create an engagement post? It's simply asking a question. So it's super easy. It should be fun, meaningful to answer, and it should align with your message, okay? So this can be done wherever you're building your business, whether it's on your personal profile or on your business page. You're simply asking a question, right? It can be relevant to your business. Yesterday on my personal profile, I did an engagement post. I asked about making pickles because I'm making pickles this weekend. And I got some good engagement from people who don't typically engage with my posts. So now those people, when I do very intentional posts about my business or surrounding my products, they're going to see that post, which is kind of cool.
And Ruth, I love that you use that as an example, because it just shows not every post needs to be about your business, right? Getting, switching up your content, you're going to see in some of the examples we give here, the switching up your content and having, stuff that's business related, stuff that's non-business related, stuff that's just random, stuff that's maybe a little, I'm not going to use the word political because we don't ever want you doing political, but maybe something that's a big topic that's going on right now in the world, right? Things like maybe a little controversial, I guess the word I was looking for. You're going to be able to get a lot more people engaging. And again, it doesn't matter how you get them to engage. It's about getting them to engage. And I see here that Vanessa says she really struggles with getting engagement on her post. So I'm loving that, Vanessa, that you're on today, because hopefully you will be able to take away some nuggets.
And I like how Luann and Linda just said, I answered. They did. They give me pickle answers.
We saw that. Luann had a lot of knowledge on the whole.
I know. You must make a lot of pickles, Luann.
I love that. So this is a post that I actually had done back in April. And this was right in the middle of COVID, right? But it was at a time that gas prices were dropping to practically nothing, because everybody was in lockdown. Everybody had that stay-at-home rule, I guess. I'm tied up for words today. But everybody was at home. And so nobody was driving, which made gas and oil prices drop. So this was, if you can look here, it says, so how much is gas where you live? Very basic question, right? Nothing. Well, I had 98 comments on that. 98, right? 98 is a lot of comments on a post. And I got tons of people who I didn't even know were following me on Facebook, who commented on this. And what was great is we got to see that there were prices. Some people in some areas were even below $1. So as people were seeing this, they started engaging. Well, where do you live? Where do you live? So it really kind of got people talking. So just an easy, simple question. Let's see here. We got some comments coming in. Luann. I've done a couple non-business posts and couldn't believe how many engaged. Yeah. And I was like, when she was a kid, she helped her mom make pickles. Love it. Love it.
Okay, so here is another really great example of a very simple engagement post. It's non-businessy, but it's going to help you crack through that algorithm. So what temperature do you keep your house in the summer? Real simple. And there's It's pretty small for me. Is that 82 comments?
62, yeah.
82 comments. So those are people engaging with this post who are now going to see a whole lot more posts and have the opportunity to engage with them or take action on them.
Yeah. So guys, if you'd like to be getting 62, 98 plus comments on your post, drop us some hearts below. Drop us some hearts. Here's another one. This was in July, so this one, I like this because instead of just being a straight up question, this is a true or false question. So an either or, right? And so a little controversial, a little topic here, but Amy says, opening up a can of worms here. True or false, network marketing helps you become a better person. Well, lots of people have opinions on this. 72 people commented, right? So 72 people commented, and interestingly, a lot of the comments were very positive. Like a lot of people agreed with it. So that was actually pretty cool. And, obviously there's always that one person who, talks about how network marketing is horrible. You're always going to get something like that, but that's okay. It gets people talking, and you can see all she did was ask a question, right? She wasn't giving her opinion. She was just asking a question. So, all right.
Next one, curious. What is the biggest change to your everyday routine during this pandemic? So again, this one had over 100 comments, and it's a simple question, non-businessy, right? And people are engaging again.
Yeah. You can see how powerful just a simple question is, right? It doesn't need to be something big, or really just, it's about just coming up with something that people are gonna can't help but not put a comment on. This one I thought was great. And I like this too because it goes back to the either or. So more like the this or that, instead of just a straight up comment. But are you an introvert or an extrovert, right? And what I love here is a lot of people in the comments, so 76 comments, but they didn't just answer introvert or extrovert. They gave reasons why they were an introvert or an extrovert. So it started more conversations flowing, which was actually pretty cool too.
And again, I love that one, Trish, because our business is all about conversations. It's all about relationships. So, I haven't read through all those comments, obviously, but there's a lot of opportunity there around questions around personality or things like that let us have further conversations with people, closer relationships, better conversations, more vulnerability that bring us all closer together. And that's what this business is about.
Ruth, I love that you said that, because truly it's getting as many people as possible to be engaging. But you're right, it is also about then being able to open it up into another conversation. And when people, when you're giving them something that's going to give them, it's like this, the introvert, extrovert, and some people start saying, it completely opens the door for you to have an additional conversation, maybe even lead it into a messenger conversation. But it's a great way for you to start having that conversation with someone who maybe you haven't connected with in a long time on your page. I know for me, when I do these posts, there's always someone who comments that I didn't even know was a friend of mine on Facebook, because their stuff is never shown in my feed. Yeah. And so, but then once I start having these conversations and they start commenting, their stuff starts showing up in my feed, which means the same exact thing is happening for them. Your stuff is going to start showing up in their feed more. And that's exactly the purpose behind these posts. So guys, if you can tell that this is such a powerful tool, drop us a powerful below. Drop us a powerful below. And then we're going to kind of give you guys a homework assignment.
So Sheila has a question here, Trish.
Yeah.
Asked, how often do you post these?
I guess, for me, it depends. I like to do it several times a week. Personally, I think, I don't think you don't want to do it every day, for sure, because you want to be changing up your content. People are going to get bored if you do the same exact thing every day. And, so that's why there are different types of posts. But for me, I for sure like to do it a couple times a week. And even if I don't do it on my page, I'll maybe do it up in my story instead of on my page. How
Mhm.
about you?
Pretty much the same, because each of those four different types of posts that we talked about in the beginning, they all have different purposes. So if all we're ever doing is getting engagement, our business is also not going to grow.
Yeah.
So the engagement post is very purposeful to get your stuff in front of other eyeballs, but you also want to be having very intentional posts. I mean, once a week, I personally make a power post. I like to call it a power post about team results, like what's happening on our team, how we're growing, how our business is growing, because I know then if I get good engagement and post that the next day, the people who engaged the day before are going to see that power post. So you don't want to be doing it every day, because all you'll ever get is engagement. You've got to be intentional about your other types of posts.
Yeah, 100%. Love it, love it. Now, lots of people here saying powerful, powerful. Do you reply back to all comments on your post? Karen, sometimes it just depends. If I have a chance to, I certainly reply to as many as possible. For instance, and I know this is a little bit different, but when it's your birthday or your anniversary and people write, I try to go and individually send a message to every single person who comments. Sometimes it takes me days to finish because, for a birthday, you could have a couple hundred people reaching out. But people like that you took the time to send them a message, right? So I do try to, if it's not something that I really know what to write back to as a comment, I'll at least like it or love it or something. But I always do something just to acknowledge that I saw what the person wrote. How about you, Ruth?
Pretty much the same, because the more we engage back, the more Facebook's going to look at that post and go, oh, there's a lot of stuff going back and forth here. I got to keep showing it. It's a good post, right? And one tip I learned a while back, because I got stumped sometimes in terms of what should I say back to some things. So if someone just leaves me 3 little emoji hearts in the comments on a post, then I'll leave back something very similar. I'll leave back a couple emojis. So I always try and I always I always try and match the type of comment with a comment back. If they wrote something long, I'll respond back. If it was an emoji, I'll give them an emoji back.
Yeah, and I pretty much do the same. That's awesome. I love it. So, guys, we've got an assignment for you.
Mm-hmm.
So your assignment is we want you to go out and create an engagement post today. But not only do we want you to just go out and do an engagement post, we want you to report your results back here in the group. We truly want to know how many people commented, like, shared your post. We want to know, how is this different from what you're currently doing? And is it different? Did you get more engagement than you typically do? As you know, when Ruth and I teach, we always like to teach you guys so that you learn, but the best way to learn is for you to implement and practice. So that's what we'd like you to do. We'd like you to do an engagement post today and report your results back here in the group.
And I love here what Jenny said. She made a really great suggestion. Thank you, Jenny. She
Yeah,
said, answer back with a question, because a question will always, create more engagement. So that's a really good tip, Jenny. Thank you for sharing that.
absolutely. Love that. Love that. And so we've got a little example here for you. And it says, are you supporting smaller local businesses right now? If so, drop your favorite one below. So this is just an example, but you saw some of our other posts too, and feel free to take any of them, right? If it's something that, you think you can run with, go for it. And if you see something somebody else has done, tweak it a little bit, make it yours and use that as well. But this is one, if you're looking, most of you, obviously, if you're in this group, you have a small business of some sort, probably a network marketing business. But this is a great way for you to reach out to kind of see, okay, who's supportive and who's not, and just to get a little interaction going on.
Absolutely. So a couple questions here. I did one yesterday. I'll post a new one in a few days. That's awesome. Luann, can I send you one from last week? Absolutely, you can send one from last week, but you might want to do one this week too if you haven't done one yet, Luann. Perfect, guys. Okay, so key things to remember when posting on social media. Number one, know who your avatar is. Know who you're talking to. Know who your ideal business prospect is, what their needs, wants, desires, struggles are, so that your content is relevant to them. Now, that isn't always the case for engagement posts, but for your other more intentional posts, make sure you're writing for that person. Get good at speaking your prospect's perfect language. Now, what does that mean? So if you're trying to attract network marketers, then speak their language. If you're trying to attract people who are looking for to feel sexy again in a bikini, then talk their language, right? So you always want to be thinking about what are the typical terms that are used in that particular sort of environment, right? Whether, like, if you think about network marketing, upline, downline, crossline, compensation plan, rank advancing, convention, right? Team bonuses, those are all kind of network marketing terms. If you're trying to attract weight loss people, you could talk about belly fat and things like that, right? So always be speaking the language of your prospects so that they know you're speaking to them. Use high quality posts to maximize sales and engagement. There was a day, it was a couple of years ago, where it was more important to get a lot of content out every day than quality content. So, back when I started in the online space 4 or 5 years ago, we were taught to post 10 times a day. Yes, 10 times a day.
No.
And it was like memes and inspirational quotes, and really a lot of it was garbage, I have to say. But that's what the Facebook algorithm liked. If you were posting frequently, they were showing your stuff frequently. And then every once in a while, you would have a very intentional post that everyone would see. If you weren't posting that frequently, they weren't showing your stuff. Now, the table has completely turned. You will get way more traction from a well-written, well-thought-out post, a well-done Facebook Live that is very targeted at your avatar, a really great engagement post once a day than trying to post a whole bunch of stuff a whole bunch of times. So be very, very intentional about your posts. Make sure you're varying them between engagement and the types of posts we talked about in the beginning: power posts, invite posts, I forget the other two, what we call them.
FAQ and freebie post.
Yeah, that's right. The names escaped me. But be very intentional. When you're writing a post, always ask yourself, what do I want to get out of this post, right? What kind of action do I want people to take? So being intentional. Plug your team into a proven, duplicatable system to create success on social media. So there are a number of different systematic ways to build on social media. We certainly have what I'll call pretty much a rock star duplication system that we created and have had incredible results in the last 3 months. I mean, I've lost count, Trish. I think we've brought in over 300 people and close to 80 rank advancements in the last 3 months through this duplicatable system where we teach people social media. But plug yourself into a system, right? If you're in a company and you're not sure where a system is, or if there is one, go to your upline and ask. And if they don't know, keep going upline to find one. Because having that sort of roadmap to follow to actually execute effectively on this is really, really important.
100%. Love it. So guys, last week we talked about launching that Facebook Stories Challenge. And so I just want to know, are you registered for the Facebook Stories Challenge? And so just to kind of go over a little bit, what you're going to learn in that challenge is you're going to have easy to follow instructions on how to create engaging Facebook stories to keep your prospects coming for more. Remember, we are launching this on Monday, okay? Specific story ideas for each day so that you aren't grasping and trying to figure out what in the world you want your story to be about. How to use different stories features to attract more people and get them to interact with you. Cool stories algorithm hacks so you're able to increase your visibility and reach more people. Fun and easy homework assignments every day. You know, if you're going to work with Ruth and I, that we're never letting you off the hook. We're going to make you do something with what we've taught you. But the reason for that is because it's going to allow you to practice what you've learned. And you never can master something until you can actually implement it and do it yourself. And so that's why it's so important. And then we'll have a private Facebook group to connect with other marketers and get your questions answered. So this is going to take place in a little pop-up group. We are launching it on Monday, and we are giving you the link right here for you to go register. So registering for the Stories Challenge, you're going to go to socialnetworkingprofessionals.com/FB for Facebook, and then SC for Stories Challenge. So pretty straightforward.
Perfect.
And
so I'm excited for this stories thing because stories, guys, is where it's at. If you're looking for engagement, stories is where it's at. The posts are super effective, but you absolutely want to be doing stories as well.
yeah, and here's the cool thing, guys. The stories go along with everything we've been talking about today for engagement, because when people comment or react, you get a notification in Messenger, right? So and when you get that notification in Messenger, Facebook sees that as a connection. Again, meeting that algorithm that they like, so that you can, be getting maximum engagement on all of your posts. So just out of curiosity, if you plan on doing the Facebook Stories Challenge, drop us a story below so we know. And that way, if you need the link, we can come back and individually give it to you as well, just in case. So, perfect.
Anyway, guys, have an amazing day. It's been tons of fun. I'm so happy to be back. And we will be looking forward to seeing your engagement questions and your engagement posts. And for those of you who are joining us in the Stories Challenge, super excited for you. And we will start that on Monday.
Yeah, and I just want to announce we have a training coming up next week that is a topic that we have never, ever, ever trained on. So we are really excited about it. It's something Ruth and I've been working on personally. But it's something that people have been asking for. So we are really, really excited. So you're going to want to stay tuned, watch for the bot registration, watch for our post on it, but you are not going to want to miss it. And I can promise you, you're going to want to invite people as well. So great. I see lots of stories. Looks like we're seeing a lot of you guys on Monday. So, and link. Yeah.
We'll drop the link in the comments as well if you need the link.
Awesome. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye for now.